個會已經到咗。
Right. We've got a quorum already, so may I now call the meeting to order. We will elect the chairman for the education panel for the 2014-2015 session. According to ROP 77.6, certain members should not be the chairman or deputy chairman of the panel, and this is 77.6, and 77.7 states that a member shall not be the chairman or deputy chairman of more than one panel at the same time. And then with regard to the House Rules 22F, I would like to invite nominations. So please make the nominations verbally, and we must have a seconder, and the nomination must be accepted by the member being nominated. Mr. Charles Mock. I nominate Mr. Yip Kin Yun. All right, do we have seconders? Mr. Fernando Zhang. Mr. Ip, are you willing to accept the nomination? Yes. Any other nominations? Mr. Lee? I nominate you, Mr. Lam Tai Fai. Any seconders? Mr. Ip Kwok Him, I accept the nomination. As I have accepted the nomination, and I have been duly nominated. And the deputy chairman is in the same position. And so I will invite the member who is next on the president's list to come over to chair the meeting. And Mr. Albert Ho, can you please take over the chairmanship?
使唔使俾個稿件你？
我有啊，主席。
你有啊？咁我擺定喺度。
OK， 好，唔該唔該。好有信心坐翻上嚟。
OK，
好啊，各位委員，仲有冇其他嘅提名
Right, members, are there other nominations, please? Other nominations? No? Then there will no longer be any nominations allowed. And let's proceed to vote. If there are no other nominations, then we'll now vote by secret ballot. So can our staff please issue a form to each member? So you can see the candidate numbers of the two candidates. Candidate number 1, Mr. Yip Kin Yun. Candidate number 2, Mr. Lam Tai Fai. So members, please cast your vote. Please stamp a tick against the member that you would like to choose. Number 1, Mr. Yip Kin Yun. Number 2, Mr. Lam Tai Fai. And as members are voting by secret ballot, please do not show your ballot papers or your preferences to other members. But then there is no need for you to fold the ballot paper.
係咪大家有選票啊？
Right, have all members got their ballot papers?
Members,
please proceed to vote.
OK， 嗱，如果委員已經喺
All right. So if you've already stamped tick on the ballot paper, then voting is closed, and our staff can no longer issue or distribute new ballot papers to members. Our staff will now collect the ballot papers, so members, please put your ballot papers into the box.
咁咧喺呢個將選票
Before all the ballot papers have been put into the ballot box, please do not leave your seats.
呢兩個邊個提名嘅？提名。
莫乃光同埋李慧瓊。莫乃光、李慧瓊。等佢啲票翻晒嚟。
我知。好啦，收翻晒啲選票啦嘛，係嘛
？Have all the ballot papers been collected? So can I invite Mr. Charles Mock and Ms. Starry Lee to come over to observe the counting of the votes. Now the ballot papers will be destroyed after this meeting. Right, so can we now count the votes? A total of 25 ballot papers have been issued. Number 2. 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 Number 1. So this is a blank ballot paper. Number 1. 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 Number 2. Number 1. Number 1. Number 1. Right? A total of 25 ballot papers have been distributed to members. Mr. Ip Kin Yoon has 11 votes, Mr. Lam Tai Fai 13 votes, and there is one invalid vote. So I declare that Mr. Lam Tai-Fai has been elected chairman of the education panel. Congratulations, Mr. Lam. So can you please chair the following session, that is the election of the deputy chairman.
跟住係第幾頁啊？跟住第幾頁？好啦，咁就現在。
So we'll now elect the deputy chairman of the education panel for the 2014-2015 session. So nominations need to be made verbally. Mr. Charles Mok, I nominate Mr. Ip Kin Yoon. Mr. Fernando Cheung seconds, and Mr. Ip accepts the nomination. Any other nominations? Then I declare that Mr. Ip Kin Yoon has been elected deputy chairman of the panel. So please come up here, Mr. Ip. Now concerning the schedule of meetings, it has been tabled for members' reference. Second Monday of each month, 4:30 p.m. And then items for discussion at the next meeting. Yes, Ms. Dory Lee. Chairman, are we to discuss the items for discussion at the next meeting? Yes, because now we have the Occupy Central movement, and some teachers in some schools are said to have asked students to indicate whether their parents are part of the police force. I would like to know whether the Education Bureau has issued circulars to schools and teachers concerning whether there are guidelines. Why haven't you asked the Education Bureau? I think we should raise these issues formally at our meeting. Ms. Priscilla Leung. Yes, on a similar point, I've received a lot of complaints from parents, Chairman. Now, there are some Form 1 students, and in fact they were only in secondary school for 1 or 2 days, and then they joined the protest. And concerning the children of police officers, especially the younger ones, they have faced a lot of peer pressure.
And some teachers have ostracized them. Teachers would ask whose parents are policemen. Don't go into the details. I'm not being too detailed. I have to talk about this because young children don't know how to audio tape. I would like to refer to one particular school. No, please, when we discuss this, you can tell the details. Well, the theme is that the Education Bureau should write a clear guideline for this crunch time. When there is class boycott and teachers would be talking to students outside class, shouldn't we discuss what should be taught by those teachers? Dr. Helena Wong, Chairman, this year I would like to arrange for a student's hearing as soon as possible, since so many students and teachers have taken part in the class boycott, and they have a lot of views on the constitutional development and also education. Only adults have been talking at this panel. I think on education we should also listen to the students. Okay, we have to end our meeting at 3 o'clock, but you are only talking about a hearing, not an item for discussion. Michael Tian, I don't know whether we can include this for this year. One, the feasibility of setting up government schools funded by the Hong Kong government in Shenzhen. Are you only talking about Shenzhen? Yes, schools for children of Hong Kong businessmen. And secondly, the implementation and effectiveness of IT education. Number 3, a specific mechanism to kickstart parent education. Number 4, review of DSS schools. I hope we can include these 4 items. Deputy Chairman, I'd like to propose some items, and I would submit those in writing later. As you know, I have many views on education. Just now, Ms. Priscilla Leung mentioned a specific message circulated on the internet. We have investigated into it, and it was a misguided message. Now, please, do not talk back. Do not answer back. Let me handle it. Let us not have a debate here. I'd just like to clarify that point. Our teachers are very professional. Now, this issue can certainly be discussed, but please do not just take anything on the internet as true. Okay, I have finished. Mr. Kenneth Chan, order, please. Order, please. We have to hand the venue to AJLS at 3 o'clock. Can we have some order, please? Please do not shout. Mr. Kenneth Chan, let us come back to education issues. Number 1, I'd like to set up a subcommittee or task group on free kindergarten education as soon as possible. This is to remind the chairman, and I believe you are going to give us a report later on. Number 2, the use of land, whether it be campus or hostels for tertiary institutes, land is lacking. I'd like to know whether the government can show us a blueprint or a direction for universities and tertiary institutions as to how they can expand. Number 3, scholarship. Last year, scholarships were set up. I think this is time for us to take a look at what the administration has done so far. Okay, because of time constraint, Ms. Starry Lee. Yes, I'd just like to respond to the Deputy Chairman. I made that request, and I was not referring to just one unique case. Other parents have shown concern as well. I have to complete the meeting by 3 o'clock, sorry. The Secretariat has already noted down all your points, and together with the Deputy Chairman and the Clerk, we will discuss what we will have for the next meeting after the meeting. Is Mr. Fernando Zhang here? I think this is a very important point. Should we talk about integrated education now? In simple terms, the Subcommittee on Integrated Education has completed all its meetings, and Mr. Fernando Zhang would like to give a report at the council meeting on the 26th of November, and he would like to have a motion debate on that. We will apply to the House Committee, but we don't know when the application can be approved, and in fact, we don't know when we can have a council meeting. If members do not object, and if this is in the queue, there will be subtraction of one member's motion. If you do not object, in my capacity as chairman of the education panel, I will make the application to the House Committee chairman. That will be done on the 24th of October. Mr. Kenneth Chan, I'd like to respond to you on the question of kindergarten education. I was just becoming chairman today, and I did not hold any meetings in the past. I will talk to the deputy chairman after the meeting to see when we can have the first meeting of that subcommittee. The meeting is adjourned here. Thank you. Thank you.